Here they are, ladies and gentlemen. What a night we've had tonight. What do you think? Great night of racing here. Thanks to 5 Hour Energy, Speed Sport, Toyota, Casey's General Stores, FBP, all of our sponsors that have helped us out here this week. We'll go to our question table. Which one of you guys like to be first?
Just let you pass it around the table there.
Jason, that's probably the most aggressive I've ever seen you drive, banging wheels. Was this just a case that you were so focused you weren't going to be denied?
Well, I don't know if we were banging wheels. It was close. Depends who you ask that question to. I'm sitting between two of the best race car drivers there are, and it's what it is today. And if you're going to compete with these guys, you're going to have to step up to their level. And you know, my son idolizes this guy right here, Donnie Schatz, because he wins all the time. And you know, I listen to it night in and night out. So I admire it. And then, you know, I got my best friend sitting on my other side that we, you know, do business with and share a t-shirt trailer and carry a lot of fond memories together. And you know, he's helped me out a ton, especially this week, and not just this week, but in life in general. So, you know, it's an honor to be sitting right here.
Shane, at what point did you know the cylinder went down, and what did you do to maintain third spot without it?
Just like it, buddy. I wasn't going to let off. You know, you don't get too many opportunities to win this race or finish on the podium. So about halfway through the second segment, it went down. It was really hot after the first 25, and it went away there shortly after. We took the green on the second segment, but great race. It was fun to watch the last couple laps with these guys. I was telling Jason we were having a hard time lapping the 19, and I thought Donnie was the 19. I'm like, how in the heck did she get back in front of me? And I actually looked up at the board going on the back straightaway, and I'm like, wow, Jason's leading this race. And I saw Donnie peel off there the last corner, and I knew that it was getting pretty close there at the start-finish line. But, you know, when you have 50 laps and you're going as hard as we do, to come to finish that was that close, it says a lot about the racetrack. It says a lot about you know, the people that's worked hard to prepare everything for this week. I think it's been a great week. I know there's some things that's changed as far as the drivers' meetings and stuff like that went, and it was good. It was good to be involved.
Jason and Donnie, can you take us through those last 10 laps, you know, the battle that you two waged, and then Donnie, talk about the end of the race where you almost got him off the board?
Well, I'm actually watching the replay right now. I actually had my eyes closed there a couple of times, but you know, I know Donnie wasn't real happy with me after the checker, and that really kind of bothered me because, you know, I respect Donnie as a driver, and I want his respect as well. And you know, I don't want to wreck nobody, and I want to race people clean. But like I told him, I said, God damn, dude, this is Knoxville National. All I can do is say is, you know, I gave it my all, and you know, I wanted to win just as bad as Donnie wanted to win, as bad as Shannon wanted to win, and probably everybody that started at A Main. And my guys gave me a great race car, and things all played into play, and we got very fortunate.
Yeah, the last 10 laps were pretty intense. Jason was pretty married to the top, and he just kept going. I kept trying to do something to get by, and I could slide by, but he just turned and go right back by. So he did one hell of a job. I mean, it's to run the last 10 laps or the last lap, any lap during this race when you're leading, it's the world's toughest spot in sprint car racing, and he figured out how to make it work and get there first. So hats off to him. I'm happy that, and actually I'd like to be the one winning, but he won. He earned it. He did one hell of a job, and he figured out how to do it.
Jason, did you know at the break that you had a car that maybe could get back by Donnie in the second half? And were you maybe saving anything for the second half?
We weren't saving nothing. We were going the first half too. You know, Donnie got by us before the halfway point. It's just like every night in, night out. I mean, he makes you step your game up for sure. And you know, Phil and I were cramming, trying to figure out what to do. And I said, man, whatever you do, you got to get aggressive. You got to do something. And I said, it's because this guy already got back by, so you got to make me faster than him. I said, I don't know where he's beat me at, but, and he kept telling me, you know, he was cutting through the middle, and you know, I just kept drilling the top, and he says, where do you want to run? I says, the only place I feel really comfortable is to rail the top. And he said, well, all right. He said, well, I'm going to get you up there. And he says, you know, he says, you better get going, and it's time to, you know, time to run the top as hard as you can, and, you know, make the best 25 laps you can possibly run. And I didn't know if I really had anything for Donnie or not, but I knew if I stayed up there and stayed persistent, I thought I could get to him. I thought I was going to need lap traffic, to be quite honest, and I think we actually got by him in clean track. I don't know, it's all a fuzz right now, but just hats off to my race team. Can't thank them enough.
Hey Jason, last year, early in the season, last year, you were in a big crash and took some time to recover. Can you, thinking back to that point, you weren't even in the car. A couple guys helped you out car-wise racing. You think going back from that point to where you're at now, would you have imagined that you'd have been in this position now, just what you went through just a year ago?
I would have never imagined it for sure. I think all of us want it, but it's hard to believe it. You know, in the time that I've had off, you know, some of the things I got to reflect was how fortunate I am to get to drive a race car and do what we do, and travel with my family up and down the highway with a nice motorhome, and you know, wake up every morning with my wife and my kid along my side and enjoy life, because that's what life's really about. And you know, I admired this guy. You know, like I watched a lot of what he done, I watched what Shane was doing, and you know, just started working on our race team and how to get better. And each guy brought a little something to the race team. And you know, between Myers, Sammy, and Bill, they were all great drivers, but they all like different things. And probably that's the one thing I realized when I got back in is you got to do what fits you. You can't really do what works for Donnie. You can't really do what works for Shane. You got to do what you're comfortable with. And you know, Philip and I put our heads together over the winter, and it seems like we kind of turned our program around a little bit.
Jason, in those last 10, 15 laps, you jumped the cushion a couple times, about hit the wall. Was that nerves? Was it just how hard you were driving the car, knowing who you were racing?
It was how hard I was driving it. Just you know, one of the things Shane and I were talking about, he says, watch that scoreboard. He said, if you see that 15 in second, he said, you better go. And not only did I see 15 in second, but the 2 was in third. You know, I was just driving as hard as I could, and I got over the curb, and then actually I started cheating it a little bit, and getting off the curb and trying to drive down the straightaway, and actually it kind of helped me at one point, because Donnie come sliding across my nose in 3 and 4, and I kind of knew I could turn back down and get a run down the front straightaway. So, you know, I kind of got lucky and fortunate that it worked out, but yeah, just trying to run as hard as I could.
I just first want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. That was one of the best sprint car races I've seen in 52 years of going to open wheel races, man. And I wish Shane was, I wish Kerry was here too, because he was also the show. McCarl, there was a whole bunch of action going on everywhere. So, and your team, I've asked you this at another racetrack, I think you have the youngest team out here, don't you?
Mom.
You're pretty young.
I'm not
What?
as young as you think I am.
Okay, no, I don't mean you, I mean your crew.
No, my crew chief's been with me since 2000, so it's been, he's not the youngest either. I'm not gonna tell him that.
I just have some kids around your team, but my question is, were you extra motivated knowing that you're counted out, basically? I mean, I don't hear anybody mention your name as a favorite. Does that motivate your team, or do you just not pay attention to that kind of stuff?
Well, you can't really pay attention, to be quite honest. You know, for many, many years, you know, we were kind of one of the key stars for the ASCS series, and very proud of that, winning 5 championships. And, you know, when you look at the banners of the World of Outlaws, it says, you know, Donnie Schott, Sammy Swindell, Steve Kinzer, and many more. And I was part of that many more for a long time. So, you know, it's hard to put in words. We sitting here with these two.
Hey, listen, this guy just won the Knoxville.
I know. Yeah, he did.
This guy right here can tell you how hard it is. He went through trials and tribulations to do it, and he finally did it. And awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, Jason. Oh, here, Jason. It's obvious, it's very apparent that you appreciate what the significance of the win truly is, and how few people have actually accomplished it over the years that we've been coming here.
23.
Yes, right.
Now 24.
Shows that you paid attention to driving, that's great. I know you'd have to dig deep to win other races over time. But as you're describing here tonight, you went deeper probably than you've ever gone ever before. Where did it come from? Did you surprise yourself a little bit that you could reach that deep to find something inside you to drive that hard, to hold off a hard charger like Donnie and Stuart come after you?
Well, I'll try to tell you the story as short as I can. We lost BC a week ago. And it come very close to me because I lost a little sister in a very similar situation. As if it was just a normal automobile accident. And so driving over here, I'm reflecting how lucky and how fortunate I am to have my family along my side and to have the loved ones that I do have. And I reached out to this guy and I told him, I said, man, thank you for just being a friend. And, you know, we got to spend a little bit of time together because my son likes playing with his daughter and they're about the same age and it's cool because we get to do some fun things together. And after this guy put on the performance that he did on Wednesday to hold this guy off, he was the only guy I could go to get some lessons.
I told him too much.
So actually, Thursday afternoon, before my qualifying night, I wrote Shane, I says, hey, are you busy? Can I have just a little bit of your time? And he says, sure, buddy. He says, come over. So I walked over to his motorhome and he taught me some things that are very, very valuable. And that's what friendship's really about, and that's what life's really about. So, all in all, it was just a testament to friendship, to what life's about, and to BC.
Donnie, you lost the bottom in turn two. The car seemed to skid up a little bit. But then in turn four, you started hitting the berm. It's when you somehow got back to him. Talk about, you just went lower on the track. Just talk about that move.
Yeah, that first part there before the stoppage, the car really was great on the bottom. Easy to drive. There was, I don't know if there was a little bit of a hole going into three there. I just kept hitting it with the left front. And for a while, I could muster staying there, but after a while, I started kind of hopping across the racetrack a little bit. So, I don't know, we stopped and we didn't really make any changes. We just put tires on and fuel in, and maybe we should have tightened up a little bit. Who knows? But I didn't even really feel the same on the bottom. So I don't know if maybe just sitting there in that time period, the track changed. It's hard to tell. But I could get off it. I just had to get up there where I could run around the top where Jason was. I just didn't really think that that's where the race was going to be won at. I tried that on qualifying night, and Shane, beat us that way, cheating the corner, going across there, and it was definitely faster doing that tonight. Like I said earlier, I didn't know what it was going to bring. So, sometimes being in that position where you can move around on the racetrack, running second or third is maybe a little bit better. I don't know what it was tonight, but Jason, he was married to the top, and he made it work. But we did our best to try to move around. We took the white flag, and I was remembering back, we had a race, I think it was Berlin, Michigan last year. I think I was 15 car lengths behind Pittman coming out of 2 on the white flag lap, and I beat him by 4 car lengths in 3 and 4, and I still don't know what happened. So I just run down into 3 and closed my eyes, and there he was coming to the checkered. So I guess whatever I did that lap, I maybe should have tried the lap before, but it was, did what I could. It just wasn't good enough.
Jason and Shane, you guys are both unique. It's interesting to have you both on the podium. You talked about who helped you recently, but for both of you, really a turning point in your career, both of you did something that drivers don't do. And both of you stepped out from behind the wheel. Jason, you spent a year with Steve Kinser on the road, swapping out bars and shocks. Shane, you did the same thing with Andy Hillenberg. What did that have to do in your, with turning both your careers around? And now here you both are sitting on the podium, and really what you both did was kind of unique to racers. Racers don't do that.
Yeah, so, I wanted to race sprint cars at an early age, and the first time I ever, got a chance to go to the Outlaw for it and check it all out. I thought it was pretty cool, and it was something I wanted to follow, and just race in Louisiana. You don't hear about sprint car racing in Louisiana. So to be quite honest, the very first time I ever went broke on the World of Outlaws was with Steve Beitler back in 1994. And I went back and raced locally again with my parents, and then come back in 99 and 2000 worked for Steve Kinzer, and I just kind of looked at it like it was getting paid to go to college, because that, that's what I wanted to do. And one thing led to another, and then next thing I know, I got the opportunity to race for the Shop Motorsports, and kind of got my career started, and Steve Kinzer kind of helped me get that started. And then from there, it was just about trying to build it and be more and more successful year in, year out.
Well, I was obviously in between jobs, so I figured if I didn't help Andy, my situation was I was fortunate to begin with because Andy was needing a crew guy. So Andy actually was the first guy that gave me my first sprint car ride. He's been a good friend of my family's for many years. I still talk to him probably twice a week. I'm sure I got a message from him of why I didn't win the race on my phone right now. But I was fortunate that he needed a crew guy, and I went on the road, and I thought to myself, if I don't keep myself on the road, people are going to forget about me, because that's what happens. And Junior Holbrook saw something in me, and trust me, I blew his phone up every single day, because after working with Diesel, I figured out I didn't want to do this. Driving's way more easier. But they taught me a lot. Andy was a hard-nosed racer, and he was a tough kind of guy from Oklahoma, and I respected him, and I figured, if I ever get the opportunity to get back into a race car, I better make the best of it. And I just can't thank Junior Holbrook enough for seeing something in me and giving me an opportunity, and it all just worked out well for me. I got into his race car. I don't really count, but my first 2 prelim outlaw races, the first outlaw race I won was at Talladega. The second night, Andy won, and I rode with him in his motorhome down there. And we're leaving the pit area, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, you know what? We just smoked their butts, and we're taking all our money back to Oklahoma." So that was just a turning point in my career, and I've been blessed to be able to race for some great car owners. And I actually thought to myself, getting the LMR ride, it was going to be my best opportunity to come here and win this race. So hopefully it comes true.
My question's to Jason. For a lot of years now, you've done a lot in terms of ASCS 360 racing, and in the last couple of years stepped up to the 410 with the World of Outlaws. How hard is it for you to get to that point where you get the recognition you deserve as a 410 driver, having just been put into that 360 category for so long?
I just think it's a different league of drivers, and these guys just drive so hard. And a lot of people ask me what it is about running the World of Outlaws. How is it to be a World of Outlaw driver? And my definition of World of Outlaw driver is to be one of the elite, like these guys that win multiple races throughout the year and can defend the series. And we don't want to be a guy just to win one like anybody else. We want to win some of the big ones. We want to win the Knoxville Nationals. So you're racing with the best in the business. I mean, it's the best out here, and it's an honor to compete elbow to elbow with them and rough it up. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations we learn along the way, but it's good lessons, and that's what life's all about.
All right, so let's get some photos of these guys so they can get back and sign some autographs for their fans. How about